Hello, I'm Fred Davies with The Wholesome Life, and this is Clean the Filters. Have you wondered what it takes to restore your body to peak capacity? Well, making sure the filters is clean is one of those. I want to share the screen so you have an opportunity to see what slides are showing. And so give me just a second to make sure the screen is showing for you. And share it. There we go. Now I'm just a small part of your screen show, and I can talk to you without it getting in the way. So let's talk about cleaning the filters, and let's start with a few questions. How often do you change the oil in your car? How often do you replace the filters in your car? What about the HVAC filter, the air conditioning and heating filter in your house? How often do you change that? Now, how many years has it been since you cleaned the filters in your body? Do you even know what that means, or how to do it, or how often the filters need to be cleaned in your body? That's what we're going to cover today. How to know, and some different methods of cleaning them. Your gut or your intestine is one of the first and most critical things that you need to clean. It's our trash, but it's also our supply chain management. It's our intake system. We think of our intestine as a round tube, but in fact, if we look at the part of our intestine that is really taking care of us, it's more like a bunch of fingers that are facing around in that tube, and then fingers that come out from the edge of it. So there's literally millions of places for food to be absorbed into the intestinal wall, and billions of places for workers to work. So we have lots and lots of opportunity for workers to work in our body as the food is being absorbed. I compare it more to a big Walmart loading dock. And the question is what does your loading dock look like? Does it look like the one on the left where there's so much stuff the forklift can barely back up and move forward again? Or does it look like the one on the right where there's plenty of room for the forklift to move and get the job done, and it's not clogged and unable to work? Our bowel or our colon is the main trash elimination channel in our body. And there can be years of fecal matter trapped in that intestinal wall, blocking our absorption. Maybe we've struggled with constipation or diarrhea, which are just flip diseases of the same type. With constipation, let's make sure the definition makes sense. We should be moving our bowel at least once a day, and maybe more often. Our bowel needs to move about as often as we eat, because this is a sealed tube. We take things in this end of the tube. It's got to move through, or we're dehydrated, and there's no place for those workers to work and provide the nourishment to our body. So herbs that rebuild the bowel. Before I talk about that, I want to tell you that I have no affiliation with Dr. Christopher's company. I do recommend Dr. Christopher's products because I've seen them work. I've seen their manufacturing process. I've witnessed their quality control and their packaging processes. They are housed about 3 hours from where I'm at, and I've walked through their plant when I picked up product from them. I've trusted them for 24 years now with perfect results on everybody that they've worked on, as long as that individual understood what to take and how much to take. And using self-muscle testing, we can know both of those questions. I also encourage you, if you don't have Dr. Christopher's products available, or if you have another herbalist that's got wonderful products, to use what's local to you and grow your own if possible. I'm going to talk briefly about lower bowel formula, liver and gallbladder formula, the kidney formula, and the blood cleanse formula, Dr. Christopher's. You can use any good formula to do those same things. So let's start with the lower bowel formula. This formula is used to cleanse the bowel. It assists the peristaltic action, the movement of the bowel, to lift and remove old fecal matter and to restore the normal function. It works like a gentle brush, softening and removing old matter. The lower bowel formula has Cascara sagrada bark in it, barberry bark, a little cayenne pepper, ginger root, which calms any nausea that comes from cleaning out so many toxins, lobelia herb, which is a wonderful anti-poison because we're going to be releasing poisons in this process, red raspberry leaf, which is a great cleanser, turkey rhubarb, a known bowel cleanser and stimulant, fennel, and then golden seal, which is a wonderful antibiotic herb. Some other plants that are helpful in cleansing the bowel are drinking, well, in addition to drinking more water, is eating more fruit and more vegetables, maybe prunes, and of course psyllium husk is a good one. Now, when we take the lower bowel formula, we want to start with that for about a week to make sure that our bowel is moving every time we eat, or at least as many times a day as we eat. And then a week later, it's recommended that we add the liver and gallbladder formula. The liver is an amazing organ. It does 500 plus functions, and it must be clean to work properly. Our liver removes toxic byproducts. It prevents shortages of nutrients by storing vitamins and minerals and sugars. For someone like me who struggled with low blood sugar for many, many years, when I found out how to rebuild the pancreas, I also learned later that I needed to rebuild my liver so it could store the sugars. And so I would have a constant flow of glucose throughout the day. Our liver also metabolizes or breaks down nutrients from the food that produces energy, working in tandem with the bowel, but both of them are cleansing organs. The liver helps our body fight infection by removing bacteria in tandem with the bowel. It produces other substances that regulate blood clotting, and it produces bile that's stored in the gallbladder. And bile helps to digest fat and oil and to absorb vitamin A, D, E, and K. So what a valuable, important thing to keep clean is our liver. The liver and gallbladder formula increases the vitality of the body as you increase the cleanliness of your liver. And the herbs in the liver and gallbladder formula include wild yam root, fennel seed, cramp bark, bayberry bark, catnip, ginger root, and peppermint leaf. Other herbs that help the liver are milk thistle seed and dandelion root. I've used milk thistle seed frequently, and my wife has used dandelion root to help her liver stay clean. Now, we've spent a week on the bowel, added the liver and gallbladder formula, and we also add the kidney formula at the same time. We have two kidneys. They filter 150 quarts of blood each day, more, 150 to 180 quarts a day. Our blood goes into the renal artery, gets filtered there, and then the filtered blood goes out through the renal vein. The excess water and the toxins go into, or what we now call urine, and leave through the ureter and into the bladder of the body, and then clean out. The kidney formula helps us to have health and strength and cleans out our blood. I want to tell a quick story about a lady that came to me who had horrible, um, her kidneys weren't working properly. The doctor told her actually that her kidneys were so low that she was going to need to start on dialysis soon, and she didn't want to do that. So she asked me if there was anything that could be done. Well, we looked at her diet and nutrition, identified that there were quite a few things she was eating that were extra toxins for her body style. And so I suggested that she change her diet, but also that she start taking Dr. Christopher's kidney formula in very high amounts every single hour. In just a few weeks on that formula, her kidneys started cleaning up, and she actually improved so much so that she did not have to have dialysis. And it worked wonderfully for her. The kidney formula has juniper berry parsley root, uva ursa, marshmallow root, lobelia, ginger root, and golden seal root in it. We could talk about each one of those, but I want to just mention that they work wonderfully. I've had such good experience with all of those. Now the bloodstream formula. After you've taken the lower bowel formula for a week and the lower bowel is working properly, then we add the liver and the gallbladder and the kidney formulas for a week. And then the third week, we start on the bloodstream formula. The bloodstream formula cleans out the blood. If the other organs weren't clean, the bloodstream would be dumping toxins into organs that can't handle them. And that's why those others start first. The ingredients of the bloodstream formula include red clover blossom, chaparral leaf, licorice root, poke root, peach leaf, Oregon grapefruit, Stellengia, Cascara sagrada bark, sarsaparilla root, prickly ash bark, burdock root, and buckthorn bark. And it works very wonderfully to prevent some things. Now, those 4 cleansing formulas come in both capsules and extract, and you can get them in bulk bags also if there's a lot of cleansing to be done. My wife and I often buy them in bulk, or you can buy them as a kit that has 4 lower bowel bottles, 4 liver and gallbladder bottles, 2 kidney bottles, and 2 bloodstream bottles in them. I suggest you take them at the 6-in-1 method, 6 days on, 1 day off, for 6 weeks of that process, and then take a week off to restore your body to full function. Now, you can use self-muscle testing to know what your body needs. You can ask the question, I need to cleanse my bowel. You can ask the question, I need to cleanse my liver. You can ask the question, I need to cleanse my kidneys. You can ask the question, I need to cleanse my blood. You can ask the question or make the statement, my liver is functioning at least at 40%, 50%, 60%, 70%, wherever it's at for you, and then you know what is needed. You can ask the question, I need to use Dr. Christopher's lower bowel formula to cleanse my bowel, and the same for the others. So use your muscle testing to make sure what you're doing is what you need to do. With all of the cleanses, make sure you're drinking plenty of water. 1 ounce per pound of body weight each day. Daily gentle exercise to haul out the trash daily and clean out your lymphatic system because you are the pump. Remember to eat good foods because less toxic stuff, less trash going in the front door means less trash you have to clean out through the back door. Eat whole living organic foods, limit the processed foods. And remember to put the best quality of fuel into yourself like you would take care of something that's wonderful. It's been wonderful talking to you about the cleanses. I hope that you find a very beautiful cleanse. We're doing this to prepare to have the greatest health for our body. And I wish you the very best health in that. And I'll talk to you soon. If you've had questions as you've gone through this, please send me a note and ask those questions. I want to be able to answer your questions and know that you're doing everything just as you need to do them.